Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today in this video I'll show you how to deploy our resources, or let's say to instance in your AWS cloud using the Terraform. So here I'll show you step-by-step process. So how would you install the Terraform? That has been already explained in my previous video if you want to go back and check how to install Terraform in your AWS Linux. So once you have already installed the Terraform in your device, so this is my instance where you can see this is the only running instance that I have, where I have this Terraform installed. So you go connect, and you can connect from anywhere here. Let me get connect to this instance where I have installed the Terraform. You can see when you first get to this, when you first connect, so from there you have to change the root users. To change to the root user, you have a command sudo. So this will change you to this root user. Now, the Terraform you have installed inside the Amazon Linux, and you want to deploy the resources to the AWS. That means you need your access key and secret access key from your AWS. You can find those from when you go to the IAM to the and the user. Then here I'm a cloud user, so you'll see the security credentials, and I'll also paste the documentation for this, where to find the security credential, and underneath you will see all your security credentials. If you want to create, then you can generate the new one. If you haven't done it previously, then otherwise you'll see everything here. It's just like that. You can also download the CSV file once you create it, or you can just copy and paste. So what I have done is I have copy and pasted my security code here, and these are my security credentials, which will be definitely going to be changed after this video is over. Okay, that's the only requirement. Then once you get connected and you change the root user, the second thing you'll do is check your Terraform version, and make sure that you have installed the Terraform. So let's do Terraform hyphen version. It shows me I have the 5.1, which means I do have installed the Terraform and I have the up-to-date version. In the Terraform, we have three main commands. There's a Terraform initialization, and then plan, then apply, and also after apply, there's a destroy command, which will, whatever resources you have deployed will get terminated, or let's say destroyed, from the Terraform using the Terraform destroy command. You have to be a little bit careful on that. So let's go ahead and start to deploy our first instances. As you can see here, let me go back and show you all the instances that I have running right now. So let's go to the instances. So I just have, let's refresh, and I just have one running instance, which I just told you that I have a Terraform installed in this web instance that I'm using right now. All of the others are already terminated, so I just have one instance. Let's go ahead and deploy one instance using our Terraform. That's going to be our first project. Let's go ahead. First thing first, let's create a directory. Let's go inside the same directory that you just created. Now, create the main file, which is main.tf, or you can do terraform.tf, configuration file, config.tf, whatever you feel like. I'm gonna go ahead and I use this nano. You can do the Veeam, whichever the editor you love to. Sudo nano config.tf file, and here I'm gonna go ahead and write for the access and secrets. Keys will go in here, along with including the resources I want to deploy. So now let's start from the providers. Provider will be AWS. So access key will be given here. So I told you that I have the access key here. So this is my access key. Then after that, we have to provide the secret key. Make sure that your spelling is correct. All the syntax requires to be correct. Now after that, we have to define the region, in which region we want to deploy our resources. So I'm doing here on the US East 1 region. You can choose whichever you feel the best. Resources you want to deploy. So here in our case, we are deploying the EC2 instance. So resource AWS instance, and this will, I will say, instance 1. You can name anything, instance 1, instance test instance, or whatever you want to name it. So AMI, some AMI will be different and some AMI are just deployed in some specific region. Just to be sure and make sure that you are using the correct AMI. What I will do just to be sure is I'll go to the instances here. I'll open the new tab. I'll select, since I am already in the US East 1 region, I'll go here to try to do launch instance, and I'll select the Amazon Linux. Deploy the Windows, then you can select the Windows and you'll see the AMI for that. I'm trying to deploy the Amazon Linux, so I'll copy this AMI from here. So just to be on safe side, that's a safe play, I would say. And now the instance type, this will be T2 micro. If you are not sure, you can still go back and make sure which type of instance you are trying to get. You can go ahead and this is a free trial, so I'll go ahead with the T2 macro. And tag is completely optional. If you want to give a tag, it's up to you. If not, then you don't have to. And just to distinguish that which instance that I have just deployed, I'm going to give the tag name as first. I'll give the first instance as a tag name. So here we have given the tag name will be the first instance, and the instance type is 22 micro, and resource is AWS instance, which is instance 1. Control X and Y to save. If you are doing using the Vim editor, then probably you have to press the escape button a couple times, then you have to do the shift colon then X. It will help you to save whatever you have just edited. It's just a little bit difference in the Vim and the Nano. Here we will have the configuration file ready. Do Terraform initialization, Terraform init, and here you can see if there's any error during the initialization, you will see that immediately. Here you can see the unsupported block type, and do on config.tf, that is just we just did the edit. So here it says resource AWS instance 1. Here it will also give you the recommendation. It is asking, did you mean resources? And that's it. That's my typo error. I'm gonna go ahead and fix it real quick. Now go ahead and do the initialization again, the Terraform init. So here you can see initializing the backend. Now it's already done. So next step that we have to do here is Terraform plan. So it will get all the dependencies or everything that is required, and it will show you everything that you have defined here. So I have defined the AMI, then I haven't defined the ARN, I haven't defined the public IP addresses or anything. So anything you can see here known after apply. So once you do the Terraform apply, you will be able to see what ARN it picks up, what IP address it picks up. Is all default. You can also define what kind of ARN you want and which IP addresses you want to pick it up, or like what kind of range. Everything is customizable. To Terraform apply, and you have to give yes to approve the apply. Now it is creating the instance 1, saying it's creating. Let's go back to our instances and let's look at it. Let's refresh the dashboard, and here you can see the first instance. The first instance is pending. It is initializing, so only the first instance is running and my web instance. So let's refresh again and we'll see. It says for the health check, it's still checking the health check. Now you can see I have already deployed the instances using the Terraform. Let's go back and see. So once you deploy the resources using the Terraform, you will see the state file, and everything that changes with the instances or the resources, all those changes will reflect in the state file. That's why it is kind of file that you want to save or make a backup. Terraform.tf state. If you have the output, so you have seen, probably you have already seen that here, so you don't use the out option. So if you have the out option, then it will backup file for the Terraform TF state, but now it's not. You can always create the backup for that. Let's go ahead and inside the Terraform state file and we'll see what is in there. So here you can see the Terraform state file is AWS instance one that what we provided as a name, and we gave the tag as a first instance type, and it says instance state is running right now. So you can get pretty much every information from here, all because it's synchronized with the instance that we have running right now on this AWS dashboard. And also there's one more thing. If you manually go to this AWS dashboard, instance dashboard, and try to stop the instance. Okay, you went to the first instance and you say, okay, you want to stop the instance. So it's asking, you are trying to stop the instance. So you want to stop these instances, but your Terraform don't know that you have already stopped these instances manually. In that scenario, you can still see the Terraform state file, Terraform state file. This Terraform state file is still don't know anything about what's going on with the manual process that you have just done. Here it will say still running. Instance state is still running, right? So to get this fixed, if there's anything that you do manually changed, if you create anything, if you place your instances to the new security group, or you have given some new reflect to the state file, only after terraform refresh command, once you run the terraform refresh command, then it will refresh the state file and it will synchronize the current status of your instances. Now it's already refreshed, so you see your instance ID is here. Check the state file. Now here, what's the status? Let's go ahead and check. Here you can see now it is saying instance state is stopped. That's what we manually did earlier. So we went manually to stop this instance. It has not been terminated. It is not running. We just stopped this instance. That's how you deploy the resources to your cloud providers. Thank you so much and keep watching my videos.